Okay, it's official. The Atlanta Falcons are hiring Kevin Stefanski as their next head coach. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of us that are getting down in the comments section. They're going to heavily debate if this is the right move, if this is the wrong move, if this is somewhere in between move. I am here to be the voice of reason. I've taken all of my emotion out of it, and I am simply looking at this through unbiased lens, even as a Falcons fan. We're going to touch on everything here in this episode. Falcons fans, welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. First things first, give me your one-word reaction to the Falcons hiring of Kevin Stefanski. If I had to give you my one-word reaction right now, okay. That's it. That's my word. Okay. That's all I really have to say about this hire. Now, I have been on record multiple times, and I'm never going to backtrack. I'm not going to Colin Cowherd the situation and flip-flop back and forth. You know where I stood. You know who I wanted. I wanted Harbaugh. Didn't pan out. I wanted Kubiak. Didn't pan out. Third on my list was Kevin Stefanski. It went Harbaugh. It went Kubiak. It went Stefanski. It went Saleh. It went Flores. Those are my 5 in a row. So we get the third guy on the list. Now, one thing you need to know about Kevin Stefanski, and I want to be uber clear about this, timestamp it if you have to. Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. Kevin Stefanski is not a great coach. That's what you need to know. But he is a 2-time NFL Head Coach of the Year award winner. He's an offensive mind. He loves a lot of wide zone scheme plays, dual tight end sets. He is known for taking Baker Mayfield to the playoffs. There's been a wide variety of terrible situations at the quarterback position in Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, do you think that was Kevin Stefanski's fault? Nope. He didn't sign him to that $230 million contract. Shedeur Sanders, he didn't draft Shedeur Sanders. That was Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam. So Kevin Stefanski, we can all agree, is not the ultimate elevator, but he's also not really the entire problem or the reason that Cleveland was as bad as they were. They did not give him the tools to succeed. They didn't. So I think two things can be true at the exact same time. Sure, is it the guy that we wanted more than anything? No. Or, yes, you're correct. No, it's not. It's not the guy you wanted more than anything. But let me ask you a question. How many times have you gone up to a girl you thought was really hot, and you're like, man, I really hope she goes out with me? And you ask her to go out with you, and she flat out says, no, sir. Does that mean you give up on women forever? No. You look around the bar, it's 1:45 a.m., the lights are on, boom, there she is. Go get her, Tiger. So I'm okay with the Kevin Stefanski hire. I think it's kind of a settling move. But I also know this is a clear upgrade from Raheem Morris. Talking about a guy that is an offensive-minded head coach with head coach experience. He's still young enough at 43 years old. You're also going to keep Jeff Ulbrich. That's good news. And you got to have a little bit of faith that Matt Ryan picked this guy for a reason. Because he did. Matty Ice went out and picked this guy for a reason. Now, the big major question surrounding Kevin Stefanski is, one, can he win a Super Bowl? Because that's ultimately what this comes down to. Getting to the playoffs can be year one, right? Winning the division can be year 1 or year 2. But eventually that becomes kind of a moot point. Like, you got to get to step 3 and step 4. You got to be yearly Super Bowl contenders and then win the damn thing. You can't just keep wafering back between 1 and 2. And he did both of these things, by the way, in Cleveland. He just never did this. So that's where I think we hover, right between 2 and 3. Now, can we all admit that Falcons have a lot of talent? They've got a really good defense. Sure they do. Browns had a good defense this year. Is Kevin Stefanski going to call plays? Because producer Reed brought up a very excellent point earlier today. 2 times in his NFL coaching tenure, he's had to give up play calling. That frightens me. If you're an offensive guru, if you're an offensive-minded head coach, if you're a great adjuster, you don't give up play calling because that's your bread and butter. That's what you're great at. I don't think Kevin Stefanski's a great play caller. So then what? You got to give it up to the offensive coordinator. Well, who's the offensive coordinator that everybody believes is going to be hired? Tommy Rees. former Notre Dame quarterback and Notre Dame offensive coordinator. Guy loves to run the football, but I'm not so sure that he's an offensive-minded guru. Now, that's all speculation. We don't know if we're going to hire Tommy Rees yet. And maybe Kevin Stefanski starts as the play caller. Can he develop Penix? Is Kirk Cousins staying now because of their overlap in Minnesota? Time will tell. Time will tell. But I'm also of the mindset that Matt Ryan did this for a reason. As a former quarterback, he understands what offensive-minded head coaches mean for the team. And this is why you subscribe. The unfiltered truth, my truth, your truth, maybe it's your truth. I'm not entirely sure. Here's what I do know. If you love what you're hearing, if you love the daily content, if you want to start the 2026 season right frickin' now, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. We are less than 400 subscribers away from 50,000 here on the channel. Now, I'm going to continue on with some more about Kevin Stefanski. We'll talk scheme a little bit. We'll talk about some more concerns. We'll talk about some positives. Before that, though, got to tell you about my friends at Factor Meals. 2026 is a new year with big goals, and if you still have no time to cook, Factor makes it easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs so that you can eat well without the shopping or the cooking. Choose from 100 rotating weekly meals with options including high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support, and ready-to-eat salads, plus new Muscle Pro collection series supporting strength and recovery. You get no refined sugars. You get no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils, and meals that fit your goals and schedule. Healthier eating, calorie management, and more protein. So head to factormeals.com/FalconsChat50 off and use code FalconsChat50 off to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offer is only valid for new Factor customers, by the way, with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor. I think another thing is very important. With a new GM, if it's Cunningham, if it's Williams, doesn't matter. I personally think now it's Cunningham. But the GM works side by side with the president. They all work side by side with the head coach. Free agency is going to be very telling. The draft is going to be very telling. What can Kevin Stefanski do with a talented roster, Reed? Trick question. We already know what he can do. Take him to the playoffs and win head coach of the year. He did it with the Cleveland Browns. He did it with the Cleveland freaking Browns and Joe Flacco. So let's just take a moment here. And if you're sitting here thinking that this is the worst hire of all time, you're out of your mind. But also, we know that Kevin Stefanski runs a very similar scheme to what even Kubiak would have run. Here's a quote that I found from Yahoo Sports talking about the breakdown of scheme. Stefanski deliberately chooses concepts to run in response to the fronts that offenses see. Stefanski and the coaches pride themselves on a varying run game. The Browns usually rank in the top 5 in gap concept frequencies, meaning they're constantly pulling their guards. The Browns keep teams guessing on which linemen they'll end up pulling. So what else do you need to know? The wide zone concepts include in the running game, but they also rotate dual tight end sets. We'll touch on the tight ends here in a little bit. And you get wider wide receiver splits. Everything is spread out in this offense. Everything. More field vision. More field vision. Not bunched up. Everything is out spread wide. Here's another thing that's important. The locker room in Cleveland did not want Kevin Stefanski to leave, at least a large chunk of the veterans. David Njoku, one of the notable ones. Why is that important? Njoku is on the free agency market. Go get him. You could also re-sign Kyle Pitts. Dual tight end set. Get rid of Tegan Quatoriano. Get rid of Felipe Franks. Get rid of Charlie Warner. Or keep Charlie Warner as your third tight end, but you get my point. You sign Pitts, or you franchise tag Pitts, you sign Njoku. Boom. Now you're cooking with gas. And don't even get me started on the draft. I think we're going offense, and then a little bit of defense on the back end. And also remember what Matt Ryan said when he talked about the head coaching staff. He said, we want people who connect with players. Well, Stefanski connects a lot with his players. He had a lot of buy-in. Someone that can push those players and get the best out of players. I think you're looking for people who can build the best staff. Ulbrich stays. Great defensive coordinator. Kevin Stefanski, offensive-minded upgrade over Raheem Morris. And even if Tommy Rees comes in, he likes to run the football. This has Bijan Robinson MVP season loading all over it. It really does. I wouldn't be surprised if Bijan Robinson got close to 3,000 yards from scrimmage next year. That's a little hyperbolic, but you get my point. I don't think this is a bad hire whatsoever. I think it is a B hire. If I had to grade it, that would be my grade. That's my grade. It's a B. It is a solid B. And there's nothing wrong with a B. It's not an A, but it ain't a C. It ain't a D. Honestly, when Raheem Morris got hired, guys, I thought it was a D hire. I couldn't understand why you would go out and hire a guy like Raheem Morris when I get you were trying to fix the defense, because at the time it was all offense and no defense. But the complete neglect of the offense and Zach Robinson coming in was just, I couldn't possibly wrap my head around why they did it. I didn't like the hire at all when it happened. I actually don't mind this. And at 8-9 this year, with this incompetent coaching staff that we just went through, can you imagine what even an upgrade from incompetency have? Hell, average is going to get you 10 wins. With this roster, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's my ultimate takeaway. Stefanski is a B hire. So everybody can take a collective breath and know that you're getting a 2-time head coach of the year award winner. We'll hear more about from his press conference. We'll see what the moves he makes in free agency. We'll see if Kirk comes back. We'll see the development of Penix. Everything is going to work out just fine. So do me a favor, subscribe, like today's video. As always, rise up and be cool.